Hi and welcome, let's crochet the Tunisian Crochet lightning blanket together. You'll need 12 balls of wool and the gang shiny happy cotton in any color you like, a Tunisian and we'll start by chaining 150. Then work the Tunisian foundation row, insert your hook in your next stitch and pull up a loop, and repeat this for every other stitch of your chain. Chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops on your hook, and repeat this until you have only 1 loop left on your hook. Now let's work the first row of our open work pattern. Insert your hook from right to left under the front vertical bar of the next stitch and pull up a loop. With this is a Tunisian simple stitch. Then work another 4 TSS so you have 6 loops on your hook. Skip the next stitch, yarn over, this is your first eyelet, and then work another 8 TSS. And you repeat this until the last stitch of the forward pass. Of the forward pass, you insert your hook from front to back under both front and back vertical bar of the last stitch and pull up a loop, and then you start the return pass. You treat every yarn over like a normal stitch, so you chain 1 and then yarn over, pull through 2, and every yarn over from the eyelet you made in the forward pass is treated like a normal stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2 until the end of the row, until you have only 1 loop left on your hook. For the next 4 rows, you work TSS until the last stitch before the skipped stitch of the previous row, the eyelet. Skip that stitch and then insert your hook from front to back into the eyelet and pull up a loop. This is the Tunisian eyelet stitch, TES. Then work 7 TSS. Skip the stitch before eyelet, yarn over and work Tunisian eyelet stitch into the eyelet, and repeat that until the end of the forward pass. Work 7 stitches, skip the stitch before the eyelet, yarn over and work TES in the eyelet. we just made until you have 5 eyelets made, 5 rows of eyelets made in one direction. Okay, so for the 6th eyelet in this row, you just skip the 2nd stitch from hook yarn over and work a TES in next stitch, and then you work as usual. In the next row we will change direction of the eyelets. Okay, so now we want our eyelets to slant to the left, and we start our row with 1 loop on hook, work a Tunisian eyelet stitch in the next eyelet, then skip the next stitch yarn over, which is another eyelet that we create, and then worked 7 Tunisian simple stitches. Then Tunisian eyelet stitch in next eyelet, skip the next stitch, yarn over, so another eyelet, 7 TSS, and repeat that until the end of the row. It's important that every row you count your stitches on both edges. If there are 9 TSS to the edge and no eyelet, you need to add a new eyelet by skipping a stitch and yarn over. Otherwise your zigzag pattern will not be complete. For the next 10 rows you work TSS to the next eyelet, Tunisian eyelet stitch in next eyelet, skip next stitch, yarn over, and repeat this until the end of the row. Additional eyelets at the edges, otherwise your zigzag pattern will not be complete. I just said so. This is really important. And now after we have 12 eyelets in one direction, and now we change direction again. Alright, so TSS to stitch before next eyelet, then skip the stitch before the eyelet, yarn over, Tunisian eyelet stitch in the eyelet, and then 7 Tunisian simple stitches, just as we did at the beginning of our blanket, and repeat this until the end of the row. Then you continue following the pattern, the PDF, and I'll show you how to bind off and work the border. Perfect, so now we bind off the last row before we work the border. It's easy. Insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop and pull through all loops on hook, which is basically a slip stitch. And you do this for every stitch of your row until the end. And when we've done so, you continue by working slip stitches in 3 rounds around your blanket. And at every corner you add 2 additional slip stitches so that your blanket won't curl accidentally. Alright, so when you have made your border, your blanket is ready to go. Maybe you want to block it a little bit so you can eliminate any left curling. And don't forget to subscribe to my video channel so you don't miss any free tutorials in the future. Thanks for watching and thanks for making my pattern design. I love this blanket and I hope you do too. See you next time. Bye, your Nicoletta.